At the end of the day, you walk inside, lock your front door, and let your defenses drop. Your home is designed to be the ultimate sanctuary, the one physical location where you are entirely in control of your surroundings. This wireframe demonstrates how your brain constantly maps your environment, categorizing the television, bed, and floorboards as safe zones to fully relax. When an unrecognized physical anomaly enters that strictly mapped space, the relaxation ends. Your nervous system overrides, sounding an internal alarm. The most intense human terror occurs in the sensory-driven fraction of a second your brain registers that the absolute safety of your home has been compromised. Consider a 19-year-old college student who just moved into an affordable single-bedroom apartment. After a night out, he brings a friend home. They fall asleep watching a movie, and she quietly leaves in the middle of the night to avoid any awkwardness. He is entirely alone. An hour later, a loud noise jolts him awake. Still slightly intoxicated, he grabs his phone and texts his guest to see if she is still in the apartment. He receives no response. Staring into the pitch-black hallway, he pulls down the control panel on his phone and clicks the flashlight. The beam sweeps across the room and hits the open bedroom doorframe, revealing two hands gripping the wood. He screams at the intruder to get out. Adrenaline forces him out of bed, and he rushes down the hall to flip on every light switch he can find. He clears the closets, the bathroom, and the living area. The apartment is empty, and the front door remains locked. The next morning, he examines his bedroom doorframe in the daylight. Pressed directly into the white paint are distinct, dark fingerprints, positioned exactly where the hands were resting hours earlier. The rational brain often tries to dismiss shadows as sleep deprivation or hallucinations. Undeniable physical evidence forces the brain to reconcile its internal map of the home with the fact that an intruder was standing just feet away. Our second case involves another 19-year-old, spending the weekend completely isolated in his parents' massive family home while they travel. Around 11:30 p.m., his phone lights up with a no-caller ID tag. He answers, expecting a spam caller. Instead, he hears silence, followed by the faint audio of a television playing on the other end of the line. These two waveforms show the incoming phone signal layered over the room's ambient noise. When the peaks and valleys interlock, it reveals that the television audio on the phone call is a real-time broadcast from the living room downstairs. He quietly locks his bedroom door, calls his uncle, and merges the two phone calls. The intruder climbs the stairs and jiggles the bedroom doorknob. Over the speaker, the uncle begins screaming threats, eventually scaring the trespasser out of the house. The police trace the anonymous call to a nervous former high school classmate. When questioned, the classmate claims his phone was stolen at a party days prior. The identity of the caller remains an unresolved mystery. While heavy doors and locks provide a physical barrier, this auditory link proves a predator can penetrate your sensory space without ever breaking a window or picking a lock. In our final case, a 24-year-old wakes up heavily dehydrated around 4 a.m. He is crashing on a pull-out couch in his friend's pitch-black basement after a night out. The dim green glow of a mini-fridge provides the only light in the room. Looking across the basement, he notices a massive, dark shape standing in the corner, violating the room's known layout. Staring through the dark, he waits for his eyes to adjust, hoping to see a coat rack. Instead, the dark mass quietly shifts its weight. He is now aware he is sharing a small, dark room with an unfamiliar person. To survive, he fake yawns and mutters complaints about needing water. He plays the role of an oblivious guest to avoid triggering a predator's instinct to chase or attack. He walks slowly towards the staircase. Halfway up, he glances down to see the figure standing at the bottom step. He sprints up the remaining stairs, slams the door, and wakes the homeowner to call the police. Sharing a confined space with a threat forces a victim to suppress their fight or flight instincts. They must navigate out of the predator's reach without revealing that the presence has been detected. In every single one of these instances, the intruders fled. Nothing was stolen, and no one suffered any physical harm. While the physical threat leaves the property, the mental designation of the home as a secure zone is compromised. The shield that keeps the outside world separate from your private life is replaced by a hyper-awareness of every lock. The college student moved out of his apartment the moment his lease ended. The teenager lost all trust in familiar acquaintances. The third man never slept in that basement again. You can upgrade your deadbolts, install floodlights, and systematically clear every room in your house. But once that boundary is crossed, you will forever stare into dark corners, wondering if the shadows are staring back.